Disclaimer. Remember, the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the speakers and do not reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Hey, Nicki.
Hey, Kimmie. We are back.
And today we are talking about that UFC event on the White House lawn.
The White House UFC fight. Yeah.
I just, just thinking about it, it's just surreal. Like, it's like we're in the realm of idiocracy.
It seems like when we think about decorum and we think about the presidency and we think about how we want to appear to others, to other countries, it just seems really strange that we would promote the UFC fight on the White House lawn. I mean, there are lots of issues surrounding that. But just how we seem to other countries. And, people already assume
barbaric.
Yes, they assume that people in the United States, they hear all of these statistics about gun violence. And now we are showing them that we have constructed a structure to have a cage match on the White House lawn.
Yeah, and it's a sport that was banned in a lot of states not too long ago. And so, so just the idea of having it on the White House lawn and it being representative of who we are as a nation, as people, it's pretty sad. So I'm gonna kind of go into some statistics about the event. So how much did it cost? So this event cost $60 million. And according to the White House, UFC paid for it. I mean, I hate to say it, it's like anything that comes out of and from the White House, we really have no trust in what they say.
Yeah.
But according to the White House, UFC paid for it. And of course, according to UFC, right? And then a rep from UFC, as a matter of fact, said that they are probably going to lose about 30 million on the event. Like, they're not really making any money on it. Another cost that I'm going to throw in is the cost, which we've kind of talked about already, is the cost of the goodwill of our nation. That has to be a cost factored into the event, and having the event be representative of us as a country.
Right.
So, the event was on the ellipse.
Yes.
That's the area of the White House grounds that it was on. It's just outside the secure area of the White House grounds. It was left visibly damaged, and I did some research to find out, okay, well, who's going to repair and pay for this damage that it caused? What I found was apparently the Park Service contracted with Scott's Miracle Grow. Like, they agreed to do it, and UFC is supposed to be paying for it. Okay, now, and I threw this in too. This is what I imagine Leslie's chaise, or whatever she's calling it, on her shouse. I bet this is what her shouse looks like.
But you know what, Kimmie? I want to go back to something that you mentioned about the cost. Yeah. Because the issue is that it's really hard to quantify what the UFC is getting out of this, because they have been uplifted to an international stage.
Yeah, of course.
So there's a cost associated with having that much publicity. Even people who didn't like it, or, whether they liked it or didn't like it, bad press is still press.
Yeah, of course.
So they are getting, people are talking about UFC now in a way that, So even though they said they were losing money, they're still gaining. Advertising.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And when we talk about all of that, according to the Reuters poll, only 16% of Americans approved of the event. Right. Okay. So all of the damage to our goodwill, is something that was put on when a vast majority of Americans
Did not support this.
didn't want it.
And I want to mention that 16%, okay? Now, if we think about the percentage of people who support Trump, if 16% of people supported this, then there were a lot of his supporters that
That
did
didn't support
not
it.
support this.
Right, right. Because his approval is what, 28, 30?
Yeah, I've seen it's in the I've seen it in the low 30s, like
Mm-hmm.
very, very, very low.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Okay, just a couple more. Who attended? So they gave away free tickets, because they got to buy people sometimes.
yes,
So they
yes,
gave away tickets to about 1,000 to 1,200 military, active duty military. So they were there, and then the rest were elites and billionaires. Like
right,
that's who was
yeah,
there. And then who watched? So, according to Newsweek, who based their numbers on data that they got from Paramount Plus, 17 million across the U.S. and Latin America um, tuned in, and they were counted if they watched at least 1 minute of the live broadcast. That's how they got that number. And when we think about the quote unquote success, Donald Trump and others like Marco Rubio were saying, "Oh yeah, this is going to be the biggest sporting event ever. It's going to be bigger than the Super Bowl. It's going to be bigger than any other sport." But let me just tell you, like the NBA Finals game averaged 25 million. They play, multiple games, right?
multiple games,
So
absolutely,
they
absolutely,
averaged 25 million, right? But
yeah,
then the Super Bowl had 126 million, and the FIFA World Cup, the last one had 1.5 billion
billion,
viewers. So it was
yeah,
nowhere near what they were touting it to be. So those are some of the statistics,
right.
right? So no opinions there, just
Just
statistics of what it
numbers,
is.
just the facts. And you don't know. I'm pretty sure that there were some people that were just really curious. Like they didn't support this and they were really curious. Is this really happening? And so
Like
they
watching a
probably
train wreck,
turned
right?
on just to see. It's kind of like yeah, you're right. It's the train wreck. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not good, but I can't turn away because
Mm-hmm.
because there's something that I I just don't believe that this would actually happen
Right.
you know and I was reading an article about this tapping into Trump's base, young white non-college educated men.
Girl. Mm-hmm.
And
Uneducated.
so when we think about this and we think about, okay, what does this event mean for America, and putting it into context with all of the things going on right now and how our international reputation is sinking
Mm-hmm.
based on the Trump administration and comments and actions that they've done. I mean, this did not uplift the United States. It did
No, it
not bring
doesn't.
us together.
Absolutely not.
In
It
fact,
actually just no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, I was going to say, in fact, it really divided us again.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm not even going to say
Further.
again, it caused further division,
Mm-hmm.
and there were racial and gendered issues that arose out of this. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. No, we probably can start now because those were all of my statistics on the cost and things like that and who watched and all of that. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's what's his name? I forgot his name. I mean,
So his name is Josh Hokett,
is it?
and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Hockett.
Yeah.
Um, and he decided it was a choice that he made to say that Michelle Obama is a man, and then to ask the audience, "Am I right, America?"
Yeah.
So this, I mean, we can look at this in so many different ways. There are
Yeah.
so many layers to this. I
Yeah.
mean, we have to ask, why is it this is an event that is sponsored by the Trump administration? Why is Michelle Obama's name
On your
even
mind.
mentioned?
Yeah.
First of all,
Exactly.
okay, that's part one. Secondly, he had just touted. the Trump administration, and he was doing all of these things, right? And
Mhm.
so, what is the purpose of saying Michelle Obama is a man? Well, clearly we know, first of all, that she is not a man. And even if she was a man, you
Mhm.
know, what
Mhm.
is the purpose of bringing that up in this event?
Yeah. What did it mean?
Yeah,
What?
and I'll tell you, there's some we've heard the term dog whistle.
Yeah.
This is a racialized and gendered dog whistle.
Yeah.
Because when we
Mhm.
talk about Black women,
Mhm.
we have to think about what are the stereotypes? How is it if someone wants to disparage a Black woman or say something that the speaker perceives as being really, really bad? How do they disparage people? Calling a Black woman a man
Mhm.
is really rooted in the whole stereotype of Black women being emasculators, not
Mhm.
feminine,
Not
um,
feminine. Yeah.
not
Uh-huh.
feminine. That's the
Yeah.
thing. And
Mhm.
so when we say that, that is supposed to be an ultimate quote diss on Black women and on Black women's femininity. So he said this
Mhm.
about Michelle Obama, but we
Mhm.
can really think and connect this to his beliefs about Black women, because why else would
Right.
you why else would you make this comment that is so
Mhm.
linked to these stereotypes about Black women?
Yeah, and for me, it's the low hanging fruit.
It's absolutely the low-hanging fruit. Yeah.
It's the low hanging fruit, and it really just calls into question his mentality, his state of mind, his jealousy. Let's talk
Mhm.
about that. His jealousy, as opposed to saying anything about her.
Right. Like, why
It
didn't he
really.
say, like, if he wanted to say something negative about Michelle Obama, why didn't he say she's stupid? She's an idiot. Okay.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm,
if we're being honest, if he is going to be
mhm,
that ignorant and he is
mhm.
going to say something that is ignorant about Michelle Obama, why didn't he lean into her intelligence?
And
Right? Because
because
he
yeah,
can't.
yeah, because
Because he
when
can't.
it comes, he can't say that. And then also when it comes to women, men still feel like the lowest the most gut punch you can give to a woman is to criticize her looks.
Right. Right.
And that's, to me, that's the low hanging fruit that I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
It's just like, we've moved so, a lot of us anyway, we have moved so beyond that. It's like, can't you, can't you use your brain to come up with something else?
Yeah.
And then Michelle, first of all, Michelle Obama was not the president.
No.
She
No.
was not an elected official. She was a spouse of an
Right.
elected
Right.
official. And so it just plays into the misogyny of it all. And, this idea that women are an extension of men, right?
Yes.
That's the other
Yes.
thing, that women
Yes.
are an extension of men. And so if you criticize the woman, somehow it
You're
impacts
criticizing the
the
man.
man because
Yeah.
that's, the woman belongs to him, right? So
That's what,
that's,
and that is what this is tapping into too. This is
mm-hmm,
tapping into criticizing Obama's masculinity.
mm-hmm,
Because what
exactly.
it's saying is that Obama is with a man, and this man is dominating him in
Mm-hmm,
some way. And so
mm-hmm.
this is saying that Obama is not a true man. So it's tapping into all these
All of
different
those things.
racial and gender tropes, you know?
Exactly.
And
And when I think about people who talk about those kinds of things, and then just like kind of how you started this conversation, it's like, okay, so if she was, now what?
now what? Now what? Now what?
Okay, so all right, so she's a man now. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Right? Yeah.
And how does that impact me? How does that impact
Exactly.
you? How does that
Exactly.
impact anybody else?
And is
What
it
do you?
making the cost of gas go down?
Gr-
Or is it making the cost of gas go
Listen,
up? So tell me
I
about
can
it,
high
right?
five you.
It's a
I can
high
high
five,
five.
virtual high five. And the other thing is, and I think I may have mentioned this to you. I was on a discussion, and someone mentioned that they were upset about some sporting men in I believe it was either baseball, soccer, one of the sports, painting their
Mhm,
finger. Oh, it was basketball. A
mhm,
man painting his fingernails, and I happen to
mhm,
like that because I
mhm,
think to me, it shows strength not to be tied to specific gender roles and to do what you want to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
said that. I said, no, I said, I think it's really sexy for a man
Mm-hmm.
to not feel like they need to adhere to any
All
gender
these
roles
rigid
out there.
rules.
They can
Yeah.
do what they want. If they like having blue and purple fingernail polish, and I believe the fingernail polish was about their team too, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Probably.
yeah, and so I thought, oh, that's really cool, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know what he said to me? He
Hmm.
said, "You look like a man." He
He said
said,
that to you?
yes, he said, "You look like a man." And
When did this happen?
this happened maybe about 3 months ago. I thought I mentioned it to you.
Oh.
Yes, he told me that I looked like a man. And then he told me, yeah, he said you look like a man. And it was all about these gendered things, right? And the way he wrote it, it was just like, first of all, I had to
Now,
sit and decipher it because the grammar and it was just all over I mean,
because of course it's ignorant.
it was just very ignorant. It was just very ignorant. And my whole thing, the reason I'm mentioning it is
Mm-hmm.
because I made a statement, and a man who did not know me, I was on, I was just, he didn't know me. He didn't know who I was, told me, "You look like a man." Now, do I believe that this man went to my profile and looked and visually saw it? No, I don't believe that. I believe that he was just throwing out something that he believed would hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly it did not, because
Yeah.
clearly I understand why he said that. And that says more
Mm-hmm.
about him than it does
Mm-hmm.
about me. But I just found it really interesting. And this goes back to, like, we're thinking about Michelle Obama. And the first thing
Mm-hmm.
someone is saying, people are saying things about her being a man. And remember,
Right.
when she was in office, people made
Yeah.
comments about her being a man.
I don't recall that when Obama was in office.
Oh, I do recall. I do
I I,
recall.
I remember them talking about her physique being
Yes.
her
Yes.
muscular
Being
arms or
muscular.
whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just like it's just very sad. It's very disgusting, and it just goes to show that that is who is running our country right now,
Yes. Absolutely.
and that is who is deciding policy that impacts everyone, including us as Black women,
Women,
of
yes,
course.
policies that are related to gender and race. They
Hmm.
are creating policies for me. They're creating
Gender
policies
roles,
for me. They're creating yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
things that gender roles that we didn't agree that we wanted. Like
Exactly.
I never said I wanted to do that.
Exactly.
And it doesn't make me any
And
less woman.
people are asking, "Oh, well, why aren't more women having children?" And it's like, women can make the choice as to what they want to do. And
Oh,
we need to have policies that support women with children, and we need to have policies that don't make people who don't have children feel like they're less than.
and it's so interesting you brought that up because I was reading an article where they were talking about how they quantified the pain that women experience in childbirth.
Oh, I have to hear this.
It was like a number system, right? And it was something like um, 20, like the pain of pregnancy was worse than the pain of 20 broken bones at one time, like if you
Ooh.
broke 20 bones at one time. And they determined that the pain threshold of 20 bones being broken at one time would cause your body to go unconscious, like that's
Mhm.
the point of
Mhm.
pain where
Mhm.
you would pass out. And childbirth is higher than that.
Mhm.
So I think like the number, like it was something like the number, whatever the number system they came up with, broken bones was maybe at 40,
Uh-huh.
and childbirth was maybe at 50 or 55.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's how much more pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
When and it's like and you have people saying, well, why aren't women having children? Because we don't want to. We don't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
And that's just
Yeah.
that. It doesn't make us any less feminine.
And
And so mhm.
oh, go ahead.
And I was just, and so, so when we hear people like him saying those things, it's definitely gender, but it's more so race. It's really about denigrating Black women specifically. That's
Yes.
really
Yes.
that's what it's all about. And I hope that she, a part of me, feels like she should sue the living daylights out of him for defamation, right? But and then another part of me is like, don't even, you
Stay
know,
unbothered and moisturized.
yeah, yeah,
Or
unbothered,
moisturized and unbothered,
moisturized, and hydrated.
and hydrated. And and the other thing is that there were people who really supported Trump who did not support what he said, which is
Hmm.
interesting to me because I think that what we're seeing now is people are seeing that the policies that this administration are engaging in, these policies aren't benefiting women and they aren't benefiting people of color. And
Hmm.
so people of color and women who supported him are now
Hmm.
saying, well, I supported you. I didn't support you to have a UFC fight and have on the White House, And the other thing about the cost, and I feel like I'm just jumping, but this topic is just bringing up all kinds of things.
That's what
The
we
other
do
thing is
on
that
Getting Deep.
exactly. The other thing is that when we think about money, who constructed these structures, who did, like, what companies
Hmm.
did all of these things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And because you have to think about those people are being enriched, and if we know anything about the Trump administration, he gives contracts to
Yeah,
people that support him and that he
yeah,
likes, right? Just like this
yeah.
reflecting pool nonsense
Oh
about the
my
no
goodness,
bid contract to his supporter. So with
girl.
this UFC fight, there were payments given to people because you had to construct all these things. There were
Yeah.
lots of costs associated. So someone, even though the UFC said they lost money, other people were enriched by it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Trump's presidency is a big, huge money grab.
It is. It is.
That is all. And what really burns me up is, the people who support him really feel like he has their interests.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, you're paying more in gas, you're paying more in groceries, your health insurance probably is just trash.
Your premiums for people who were on Obamacare, which we know it is not just black and brown people on
Of
Obamacare,
course.
right?
It never is.
The
It never
premiums
is.
gone up.
Yeah.
There are some things about some of the benefits of
Hmm.
like Medicare, Medicaid.
Hmm.
They're even talking about Social Security now, and that has been,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, And so I'm just thinking that why are people voting against their own best interests?
Exactly. They are cutting their noses to spite their face. And it's like they're cheering on this one person and this group of people becoming billionaires and trillionaires, like they are going to somehow benefit from that. And it's
Right.
like you're going to be in the same, not having a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. You're gonna be in the same position while they make off like fat rats.
Absolutely.
And the money that they're stealing is yours. Like
Yes.
they are stealing your tax dollars. That's what they are doing. Now, this event, of course, they're saying was not funded with tax dollars, but the bids that they gave out, that those are your tax
Those are
dollars.
your absolute those are your tax dollars.
So
And
that's
what
the cost. That's a part
companies
of the cost
are
as well.
becoming enriched based
Yeah.
on this administration?
Unless the UFC paid for that too. I don't know. I
But
didn't
even if
research.
they did, there are they 9 times out of 10, it's probably his supporters that are being paid
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
do the
Yeah.
work. So his supporters are still getting paid.
Enriched.
And
Yeah.
we have no bid contracts.
Right.
I mean, I work in a system where we have to have bids for contracts.
Right.
And the reason
Hmm.
for that is because there's some equity issues, and also you have to make sure that the public's finances, the money is spent reasonably,
Yeah, it
and we
makes
have a
economic
fiduciary
sense.
responsibility.
Hmm.
And so when you're giving out no bid contracts to your friends,
Right.
that means that you haven't had the opportunity to see who has the best price
and knows what the hell they're
and
doing,
knows
because
what the hell they're
at the
doing.
reflecting pool, like that is just a disaster.
It
It's
is.
ridiculous.
And the funny thing is,
Absolutely.
did you hear that a former Olympic athlete was
Yeah.
arrested because they said he was vandalizing? Now, the story is that, oh, this pool, it's not the reflecting pool that has the problem. Vandals are somehow putting algae into the pool. Well, they already told us how they created this pool, and if
Mhm.
they had someone who really knew what they were doing, who really relied on science, they would not have
Science.
done what they did, because they would have known, oh, we're going to have an algae bloom.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when
Because
you
of the heat.
just, exactly,
Yeah.
when you just look
Mhm.
at your friends instead of really
Mhm.
saying, okay, who's going to do the best job? Who really knows what they want? And this administration is so anti-science anyway. I wouldn't be
Exactly.
surprised if some kind of virus erupted from the reflecting pool.
Girl, exactly. And they were just talking about how the flu, there was a flu outbreak
Great,
in one of the
yes,
military
military.
bases because they no longer have to get the flu vaccine. It's like science is there for a reason, people. Like,
Absolutely. Science is there for a reason. And the whole idea of an administration not supporting science, an administration supporting racist, sexist, people engaging in homophobia, transphobia, all of the phobias, even
hmm.
disabilities rights folks
Yes.
are
Yes.
really up in arms because of this administration.
Yeah, exactly. So like we started, idiocracy, folks. So yeah, so I think we're coming up on our time, Nikki. This time goes by
I
fast.
know it does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes by fast, but yeah, this is idiocracy in real time. Unfortunately, the only thing I can do is laugh at the situation
Giggle,
because
giggle.
instead of crying every day, right, over the BS that's going on.
You know what? And that's important, I think. And that's something that I think we really need to echo to our listeners. We can all there are small things that we can do in our sphere where we have
Hmm.
influence.
Hmm.
There are so many things going on that we do not have control over.
Hmm.
And sometimes, and I saw this quote, one of my colleagues had this quote, that joy is a resistance strategy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Joy is a
It did.
resistance strategy. And
Yes.
so, and I think I'm quoting that correctly, but
It
it
makes sense
it
though.
makes sense. So laugh,
Yeah.
giggle,
Hmm. Do all
just
the things you normally do.
moisturize, hydrate, be
Yeah.
unbothered,
And listen, and just be magical, act
be
like we
magical,
are.
be
You
magical.
know, I mean, when you think about it, and when you think about how people just pile on us and we still remain the innovators, we still remain the change makers, we still remain the creators, we remain and excel in all of that. And that's why they mad. That's why they
And
being
the,
mad.
the interesting thing is this: no matter what Trump does, he will never be the person that Obama is.
Mm-hmm.
And his family will never be the
Mm-mm.
family that the Obamas are.
Yeah.
He will
Yep.
never have a Michelle. And that has him just torn to pieces. And I
Pieces,
think a
baby.
great contrast is Obama just had his
Yeah.
library dedication.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
That was
looked
fantastic.
at just how many people supported that. I looked at the
Mhm.
everybody from politicians, like just everyone
And the
wanted to
everyday
be
people.
involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, I said, "Uh-oh, Trump is what did the older people used to say? A conniption,
Conniption. I just said it. He's having a
a
conniption,
conniption." And
girl. Yes.
so, and
Because
I love it.
unbothered.
I love it when I go on Truth Social, not Truth Social, when I don't go on Truth Social, but I love it when I read the Truth
Yeah.
Social post that Trump has. And I
Yeah.
say to myself, education failed this man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, and people like Obama and his whole family live rent free in his
Rent
head.
free in his absolutely.
And the Obamas are out there living their best life.
Yeah.
Like,
I
and
saw
that's what they
Barack and
can't
Michelle,
handle.
and
Yeah.
Michelle, wow, she has just gotten even more beautiful, and her children,
Yes.
and I
And
mean,
Sasha
I was
Malia.
exactly, and I was
Hmm.
just like, you can't,
And they're
you
not in the news.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they are just living their best lives,
Hmm.
and I am just living just vicariously through them because I'm just watching them and I'm just marveling at
Yeah.
how amazing they are. So,
And I saw somebody say, they have to be really, really fantastic for us to like G Dub.
I know.
I mean, you remember when
Yes,
he was president, and we were just like, "Oh my God, this is awful! It can't get any worse than this." And here we are.
here we are. And when they had the
Only someone like Michelle can make us like G Dub
yes,
a little bit.
yes, yes. And in hindsight, I can look back and I'm like, okay, his policies, but then I look
Yeah,
at
they're still
how
trash.
Michelle and Obama, yeah, how Michelle and Obama and G Dub, and I'm just like, how cute is that?
I know.
And I keep saying to myself, his wife is probably like, oh.
I know. Mhm. Because when she was giving her speech, and she shouted out George Bush, and she was like, "And George," like she gave a little look, and he was like, and so, and then his wife was kind of like stone faced a little bit, like, "Okay, now y'all doing too much." but yeah, so yeah, okay, so we're beyond our
We're beyond
time.
our
We
time.
could go
Okay.
on and on and on, right? But that's why we'll be here every Friday. I was even going to talk about Mom Donnie and the New York Knicks, and that also, we had Juneteenth, we had the Obama Library, we
Yes,
had the New
yes.
York
Lots of
Knicks.
great things going on.
There
Lots
was
of
a
great
lot of
things.
great things going on, and I kind of feel like it did overshadow that
Yeah,
event, really, to
yeah,
be honest. Like, I knew it was going on, but there were so many other things, fantastic things, inclusive things. Like, when you look at the New York Knicks celebration, and how, you had every nationality, every culture, everyone celebrating together, and you've
yeah,
got
yeah.
a socialist mayor, giving a I still haven't heard a speech though, but I heard it was fantastic.
Fantastic. I heard it was fantastic too.
Yeah,
I need to hear. I haven't heard it as well.
yeah, I need to hear
You
it.
know,
And then you got Juneteenth, and
yes.
you've got people hating on that, and I just love it.
I love it too. I love it too because the people who are hating on it are hating that I get up in the morning and I can twirl around and march around and smile and just
And
the
they hate.
people who are hating on Juneteenth are hating because I'm able to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
that gives me such greatness, you know.
Yes, yes. Okay, all right, y'all. We're gonna sign off on this episode. As usual, do us a favor, like,
Like and
comment,
subscribe.
subscribe,
Yes. Yes.
and catch us again next week, where we'll talk about another hot topic and get deep like we like to do.
Absolutely. So for now,
Bye.
bye. Disclaimer. Remember, the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the speakers and do not reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.